name is Whiskey One. Sheds hit the fan, we're overrun. Sending boys in the trucks with the 50 cals. Tell every swinging neck, bring extra rounds. Hang in now, boys, we're on our way. Don't send them on to heaven before we get a taste. Whoa, cry havoc, let's slit the doors and roll. What you gonna do?
And happy Sunday to you, folks. Welcome to another episode of the Double S Podcast. As a reminder, this is a pre-recorded show. We are not live tonight. A lot of busy things going on right now during the holiday season, so we've got quite a few of these episodes that are being recorded just because we can't be available when the show normally goes live on Sunday night. So if we don't respond to you, that's why. But make no mistake, throw your comments down there, throw that stuff in there. We do see every one of the comments. We appreciate you. We love you guys chiming in and throwing your, putting your two-piece, your 2 cents in there. We want to hear it. And any questions you have whatsoever, just throw it in there. We'll make sure that our guests get a hold of those questions later down the line. So, any rate, hey man, we're recording this the day after Veterans Day. So belated again, happy Veterans Day to all the veterans and the families out there that make it possible for us to do what we do out here and live in the land of the free because of the brave. Of course, in honor also of our guest here on tonight's show, when we're recording this is only a couple days past the Marine Corps birthday, and we have United States Marine Corps veteran, OG of the kayak fishing scene, my personal friend, Mr. Josh Boothe is here tonight, and we are going to sit down. We're going to catch up with him. This is a busy dude, man. A lot of stuff going on. We got a lot of cool things to chat about with him. Before we do that, let's go ahead and pay the bills here real quick. Every episode of the Double S Podcast this season and every season therein that we are ever on air, brought to you by the Romans Warrior Foundation. Speaking of another Marine, Mr. Brian Romans Warrior Foundation. Go check him out. Hashtag helping is healing. Check out all of the cool divisions and the different ways that the Romans Warrior Foundation strives to bring healing across this nation to our brothers and sisters out there. Whether it's the Field Ops Division, whether it's the Global War on Terror's Wall of Remembrance, or the association, of course, with Label 22 and the Stop 22 Tour that's out there. And we're going to get into that here in just a second. Also, every episode of the Double S brought to you by Heroes Media Group, Mr. Adam Bird, and the amazing network that is the Heroes Media Group over there. We're proud to be a part of that. Looks like we're going to get re-up there. They're not going to cancel us. That's awesome going into next season. So that's going to be super cool to carry that forward. And all of the amazing podcasts that are on the Heroes Media Group, go check it out. Something for everybody out there, dude, from resources, you name it, to entertainment. It's all there. And the sister company, HMG Beverage. Awesome coffee. Dude, Kickstart is my favorite. That's my personal piece there. And, of course, our little growing nonprofit here in the state of Colorado that operates across the region and the Midwest, the True Patriot Outfitters, bringing kayak fishing and outdoor excursions to our nation's warfighting families and our community heroes. It's our sole purpose to help restore mission and purpose, man, at the True Patriot Outfitters. And that is what we do with these. We go fish, dude. We go fish out of kayaks. We set up these, and we've got some cool things that we're this close to announcing once we have some official stuff put together. I don't want to count our chickens yet, but I think they've hatched. We just got to make sure the paperwork's in place. Once that's there, then, dude, we're going to take it out a whole new door. If you look at what we did last year with what little resources we had, now you look at what's about to occur for us for next year and the resources we're going to have at our disposal. Man, we are going to reach a lot more of our brothers and sisters out there, and I can't wait to get that work going. It's going to be a busy 2026. I'm stoked. Not as much tournament fishing for me as I used to do in the past, but that's okay. This work's far more important to us, and we're still going to get in some cool big events, so we'll be getting that going. Hey, before we get into one other piece, let's go ahead and bring in Josh into this, because as a fellow Marine, we got some cool information to share here with you folks. Well, bam, what's happening, brother Josh? How you doing, man?
Howdy do, howdy do.
So I wanted you in here because Sal Gonzalez, who does our intro music, he is a United States Marine Corps vet, part of the Stop 22 tour and part of Label 22, just released a new EP. And this thing is fire, dude. This is all original music from Sal and the Label 22 group here. And it's 6 songs, and I wanted to share. We're going to do just a little sample of this. Go listen to this now. Go get some plays on this stuff out there, folks. Go check this out. Let me turn one banner off here. We're going to add this to the stage. Here we go. So I'm just at YouTube Music, and here it is. Let me shut down my background music here. All right. So yeah, this is obviously one of the more famous or popular ones. We'll start with number 6, and I'm just going to give you guys a quick sample of this thing. I'm telling you, you want to go check out this deal. Just look up Sal Gonzalez there, and you'll see him on the EP 2025 self-titled here. Let's see. You should be able to hear this. If you don't, let me know.
Life might not be what you need. Feeling like a ghost staring at pictures on your phone. Makes you start to hate the thing you love the most.
All right, so that was like midstream here. Well, this is one of the first ones. Sal's got an unmistakable voice, man.
From the word go, Mama even told me so.
Sal has been
Oh,
on
you're
Random Lottery
good
a
at
couple
getting
times.
gone, my firstborn Rolling Stone.
He was
I
on
wish I
America's
could have
Got
stayed
Talent,
home,
a while back.
but I dig up every
He's
root
done a lot of work
I
with the
grow.
Wounded Warrior project. A lot of
Wind
work
keeps
with them.
whispering.
I'm telling you, these songs, each one of them is fantastic. It's classic Sal.
Private schools and private pools, where you come from, girl, dreams come true.
He's got one of those
Public lands,
just
dirty
unmistakable voices.
hands,
You'll pick
all
him
I
out of
got
the crowd.
is
The
the
range
working
that he could do with
Your
his
daddy
voice.
said you lost your mind. My mama thought I couldn't walk that line. But I'm not talking about Romeo and Juliet up in smoke like a flash in the pan. Johnny and June done bit the dust too. Girl, I'd rather love you like the man in black.
This is one of my
Like the man in
Watch my boy make Doghouse his home. Some people, I mean, he's definitely country music. Some
Big
people,
empty room,
like outlaw
box
country.
spring
It's like
on
more to me,
the
it's
floor.
like Southern rock country.
leak in the roof. It rains, it pours. An old coffee pot, 3 locks on the door, a second-hand couch, and a phone that don't ring anymore.
So go check
Guess
him out.
I
folks.
got
Don't
what
miss
I was
this. Go get this thing
asking
down
for.
there on YouTube music.
I won the battle, but she won the war. It looks like I'm back where I started.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Yeah, go check him out. Sal is a next level. He is an amazing artist. The man is super generous to let us use his song for our intro here, and we try. I tell you, we try like hell to get these guys to come on the show. It's just tough narrowing them down. They are busy. From flights and shows and everything that they're doing out there, it's tough. But we should have Brother Sal on here sooner or later. We'll narrow him down, see if I can catch him on the road, and we'll get him on the show here. But yeah, super cool stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and close that out there. Bada bing, there we go. All right, dog. So let's catch up with you, man. First and foremost, happy Veterans Day. Even though when people are seeing this, it's a couple weeks, since then, whatever. We're only like a day past it. And of course, Marine Corps birthday. Hoorah.
Hoorah.
Exactly. Good stuff. I loved how literally the internet was taken over for a day. That pretty much every post was something on. Yeah. Yeah, that was good stuff. Chesty was smiling. There's no doubt about it. Awesome stuff. So, dude, you have been super, super busy. Let's get to a couple things going on out there. We had, one of the things in the news here lately that I wanted to just kind of get your feeling on. Unfortunately, we see this every now and again where it just takes over and it dominates when something bad goes on. But yet when something good goes on, it barely gets 4 clicks, type thing. But people seem to go around this. And we had another idiot caught out there cheating in monthlies or whatever. He chopped up a kayak, threw it in his boat, and used his boat to go around. In his pictures, he made it look like he was sitting in a kayak or whatever. I'm not even going to say his name, but this tool, gets caught, gets busted. Nice job by the TD up there and the people that caught him on this. But I just can't ever wrap my head around this, Josh. What the hell are these people thinking?
I have no idea. There's got to be more mental problems going on with them than just being a piece of crap cheater. It makes no sense. I mean, a lot of these tournaments, you're fishing for a couple $100.
Right.
I mean, what? Why? Do you need attention that bad that you just have to go that route? I mean, it's. I don't think it happens as much as some people expect it to, but it unfortunately does happen. And when it does happen, those guys, I would like to think, always get caught. So that's when we hear about crap like this, is another person getting busted.
Right. And that's, unfortunately with the social media landscape, bad news travels much faster than good news. That's part of it. It's one of the things, it's one of the negatives. It's not all negative, social media, but it's one of the negatives out there. But yeah, I mean, like you said, dude, I mean, there is nothing in the kayak game, even the guys that are batting at the highest level, that top 10, almost every event they go to, folks, they're not bringing in, their winnings isn't a livable salary, right? Even, I think we have 3 professionals that this is all they do out there, maybe 3 to 5, if that, in the kayak game, out of 6,000, 8,000 kayakers out there, we have 3 or 5 people that this is all they do for a living. And their winnings are not a livable wage. There's just not that much money in our sport, right?
No, not at all. And also a big part of our sport relies on integrity. There's a lot of self-policing and, just being honest, because there are rules that are pretty much hard to or impossible to police, except by, other people out on the water, other eyeballs on people, but it's damaging to our sport because it makes people lose a little bit of faith, that, because I always like to believe that everyone's doing the right thing, following the rules, and, they've got integrity. Once someone questions that integrity, it's hard to get it back.
And
I mean, even if it's not accurate, it can be hard to overcome as well, too. So we got to be real careful about throwing accusations around, because this is a very sensitive subject in the kayak tournament world.
It is, and I think transparency and communication are the ultimate. You've got to be, as in your position, you got to be as transparent as possible. We always try to, honor people's privacy, this or that, but really at the end of the day, like you said, if somebody thinks favoritism or thinks something is going on just because, unfortunately, that shit's got to go by the wayside, right? And it's like, no, man, we've got to be straightforward. I'll tell you, I love this rule because I first encountered this in the boat world, and I was so glad to see the kayak world adopt it as well. And some guys don't like it, but I think it's, like you said, it's the ultimate way to really make sure we're policing each other, is that if I see you violate a rule and I don't report it, I'll get freaking DQ'd along with you. I mean, I know that's for some people, they don't like, that level, but no, dude, that's the, my view on it always is this: if I see somebody doing something, I always try to approach them. Yo, bro, I just need you to know that what you're doing right now is not, like you see those buoys, you're not supposed to be in there. You got to get out of there. You didn't catch anything in there, did you? You can't be doing that. If they tell me to go pound rocks or whatever, then it's like, okay, now I don't care so much now.
Yeah, exactly.
But if they're like, oh shit, I screwed up. Yeah, just get out of there and you're good, bro. We don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, mistakes happen, accidents happen. You might be a little bit off on your first cast time or something like that. That happens. But, if you're intentionally trying to deliberately defraud everyone else in the tournament, that's a lot different than making a mistake. And like you said, communication is crucial. I myself and other TDs, I don't think we hammer that rule hard enough. But yeah, I mean, if you witness a rules infraction on the water, it is your duty to communicate to that person or the tournament director. I mean, preferably in that order, but one or the other, because like you said, maybe they're just unaware that they're doing something wrong. Maybe it's their first tournament ever. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." They'll fix the problem and then you solved.
Yep.
Or that person that says, "Get out of here. I'll do whatever I want to do." Okay, those are the type of people we don't want in our tournaments. You got to know who those people are. And myself as a tournament director on the sidelines, I don't always know every person that's on the water or what they're doing, like other guys may do, or I don't see who's at each boat ramp, and so I rely on anglers to tell me if they witness anything wrong. And I feel like a lot of guys still have that, snitches get stitches mentality, and they don't want to ever tell on anybody. But it really helps. It helps the sport. And, I think people should do that more often.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we kind of have to, like you said, it's the integrity of the entire sport that it is, and we say the word sport out there in kind of a, there's a lot of debate. Is it a hobby? Is it gambling? Is it a sport? Whatever it is, it requires integrity and that honor system. And dude, you've seen it from the inception, where it began. You're one of the pioneers, and some people are still sleeping on this fact that, Josh, you've been around and been involved in like where our sport began. And when it started to come up, you were part of the OG group that did that out there. And it's got to be just amazing, or just, I don't know, there's got to be an experience there. And I was curious about, just from your eyes, seeing where we came from to where we're at today, and what the potential looks like for the future. What's your thoughts on this, on the whole thing of kayak fishing as a competition?
It's been a roller coaster ride for sure. I mean, everything just spiked, when COVID hit and 2020, everything really took off and everybody got involved in the sport, and it's kind of coming back down a little bit as far as participation goes. It's crazy to me how much the technology has changed as far as the type of kayaks and fishing kayaks you can get. When I first started doing this, I started in 2016. Kayak tournaments had been around a little bit before then, but when I first started, there was no motors made for kayaks. You had to chop a trolling motor and figure out a way to attach it to a piece of plastic that wasn't made for a motor. And everybody had to.
And you did.
Yeah. Yeah. I was paddle for a long time until I blew out the tendon in my elbow, and then I had to switch over and get a motor. But yeah, I mean, and now I actually just got a new canoe, U10, that I've been working on building, which I'm really loving so far. It's a really cool boat. And it blows my mind how much. It's been like 6 or 7 years since I did a build on a kayak. And so in that amount of time, everything now is snap-on rails. It comes in all nice little easy instructions. Boom, everything's bolt-on, made from the manufacturer. You got everything specifically set up. And to me, that's been the biggest change, is just the gear that we have now and the type of kayaks that we have now. And the type of motors that we have now. Torqeedo was the first one that came out with a motor built for these kayaks. And now you've got the Newports, you've got the Bixby's. There's all kinds of options, and you got different ways to mount them. And that's the part that I think has really increased. And I think that's going to keep going up. I mean, now we've got the forward-facing sonar going on and electronics out the wazoo, and kayaks are, 500-pound weight capacities, and cruising 6 miles an hour, so that's, who knows what the future is going to go. I mean, I would think that we're about to peak at that stuff, but you never know what they're going to come up with next.
Dude, I pushed the limits on the unlimited. I'll tell you that, with that Kraken, when I put that on there. There starts to become like a curve of diminishing returns. And I had that 110, 112 pound thrust on the front end from a bow mounted, motor. I was pulling almost 6.5 miles an hour. It was ridiculous. and just too much damn power. I've left that game. I'm selling the Kraken in this, come springtime, we'll put it back up on the market and we'll sell that off to somebody. I'm going back to the 12 volt world. I'm happy there. I don't need, anything. Tell me this though. We seem like this is almost a foregone conclusion at this point because of now that the rest of the kayak game, and I'll tell you why I say it that way. But now that the rest of the kayak manufacturers have accepted the fact that motorized kayaking is the future, how long before major trails allow us the 2-motor thing, right? I mean, we used to before at one time. I mean, how long before? Because I know some people didn't like that. Some people didn't care. Dude, it's the natural progression. You look at some of these boats now; they are mini John boats, that are out there. That freaking that XTR is ridiculous. How long do you think before we get there? Because New Canoe's been on this motorized game since I've been involved with him. I can tell you that, and we've, Blake said that is where this market's going. 3 years later, now the rest of the market seems to be going, yeah, I think you're right. And they're coming along. So how long before we see that, do you think?
I think this is right around the corner. For the last year or 2 years, I believe Moyak has allowed dual motors. We got a couple guys that run a bow and a stern motor each. Maybe your stern motor gets you where you want to go. Then you throw down your spot lock up front and then you start fishing. And now there's a lot of kayaks that are being manufactured that have a bow stern mount option. So they're already built for it. So you can choose. And so I think I don't see why it's not already a rule. Honestly, I mean, I can see a safety perspective. Some kayaks just can't handle it, but now there are kayaks coming out that can handle it. And with the advancements in batteries, I forgot to mention that earlier too. Holy moly, batteries have changed a lot over the years as far as the lithium powers and all that stuff. Amped makes a great product. I've been using Amped for a long time, and lightweight power sources is huge. And I think we're going to see batteries getting lighter and more powerful in the future too.
Yeah, I mean, Amp started making kayak-specific batteries. They were one of the first major, manufacturers out there to actually start doing it, to say that, hey, we've got this in a standard version, but we also have a kayak version for you, because they understood that, we're looking for smaller, lighter, so whatever you can do with that. Yeah, you're right, dude. The power options are there. And I think the standard rule has always been, because if you read it properly, I think it's always been, you cannot exceed the manufacturer's recommendation for your boat. Whether that was the way it was in the boating competitions, you couldn't, exceed weight or power capacity. If you had a 16-footer and you tried to slap a 225 on it and go get in the tournament out there, they did not allow that because you were going past the manufacturer's, recommendations for the boat. Same thing in the kayak game. As long as you stay within the unfortunately what that does is it does force the manufacturers to have to clearly state this is what, and nobody wants to do that, I don't think.
That's also another one of those unenforceable rules that you can't really, we're not doing boat inspections at the ramp, before each launch. And we don't have any scales to put your gear up on there to see how much you're weighing. I mean, that's just up to the individual to be, it's following the rules, but it's also smart. You put too much weight on your kayak, you're going swimming and you're going to lose all your shit. It's not something you need to be doing. You got to be smart about it. I've seen it happen to people before. They get too much gear on too little of a kayak, and then that's a recipe for disaster.
I had too much power and too much weight in mine. I didn't exceed weight capacity, but I was pushing it right to the envelope, because the Unlimited can hold like 650 pounds, right? But I was pushing that right to the envelope the way I had the weight distributed with that big ass motor. And so all it took was one small turn, wrong direction, boom, into the drink I went, and there went 10 rods and reels, $300 foot pedal, everything just bloop, 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 like a dumbass. So yeah, dude. Yeah, I agree. I didn't know that about Moyak. So Moyak does allow for 2 motors.
Yeah, that's
okay,
right.
Cool.
It's even written in the rules. And like I said, we've got 3 or 4 guys that have been running dual motors. Burris
has got to be one of them.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Davison does, and I think Trevor does. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, Lance is always like cutting edge, man, of every bit of technology he can get a hold of. I love checking out
Yeah.
his rigs. That's always
Yeah.
so
It's,
cool.
it's always the best of the best. That's for sure.
And he's doing like, 12 mile an hour or some shit out there. Hey, no wake, Lance, no wake.
Yep.
Good stuff, man. Dude, you've got a lot brewing right now. One of the coolest things that you got going on that you're running in conjunction is the Grassroots series that you're introducing here. And this, we're going from one extreme to the next. So out of the, because not everybody wants to
Yeah.
do the motor. Talk to me about your Grassroots stuff.
Yeah, this kind of directly ties right in. That's a nice little segment there. Way to join it there. Yeah, the Legends Grassroots series. That is something all new that I've come out with. We're going to launch it next year. 6 tournaments, and it's back to basics. It's kind of in honor of Jim Harding and Dorman Huey, some Moyak legends who won multiple championships, AOI awards, and all they were in was a simple kayak with a paddle and no electronics. And so that's what this series is all about. No electronics, no motors, no batteries, no power, just a simple kayak, your paddle. We are allowing pedals this year, which has been a little bit controversial because you get into that conversation, is a pedal drive equal to paddling a kayak? That's another topic we'll figure out for maybe the following season. But yeah, it's a pedal only. So we're going to be on some smaller bodies of water, and there's no pre-fishing. That body of water is off limits for a week before the tournament starts.
Love it.
And so everybody goes in, no practice. You got no electronics. You just go out there and you fish, and it gets back to the roots. It also, the idea of basic fishing like that, the way we started in the sport, it is really appealing. But also, I feel like the sport is becoming intimidating to some people because they can't afford to buy all this high-tech gear and all this fancy stuff because it's getting really expensive these days. Like when I started, you could just grab your paddle, a couple rods and boxes, and go out on the water. Maybe you got a little 4-inch fish finder draft or something, but that was all you really had. And now it's just insane the amount of money you got to spend. And so I think it intimidates and keeps people from getting into the sport because they feel like if they can't go 6 miles an hour like Lance Burris, then they have no point of even trying.
Yep.
And so this is going to allow people to, that may be intimidated to fish our Moyak Elite Series. This gives them a chance to get involved in the sport, maybe for the first time. I feel like it'll get a lot of people involved that are just intimidated of maybe the bigger water. Let's see what else. Also, each event is capped at 30 anglers, and we're going to do a open public launch. I've got the dates all set. Like for example, our first event's on Taneycomo in March. We're going to open up registration on December 1st. And the first 30 people to sign up get in, and then it's shut off. And then we're going to wait 2 more weeks, and then we're going to open up registration for the next event. Once it hits 30, we're going to shut it down, and then we're going to wait 2 more weeks, and then we're going to open up registration for the next one. That way it gives everyone a chance to buy in. And some people may be wanting to just buy their entry into every tournament all at once, and some people may not be able to afford to do that. So we want to give everybody a shot to get into these events. So that's why the registration is spread out like that. So hopefully that makes it a little more fair. Yeah,
dude, it's so cool that you're taking, and this is you, man. This is, you listening to your anglers out there. You're an angler yourself. You're an angler's angler. And so for your side to be listening to what's going on, and going after a demographic in our market that, no, you're not going to find the ROI here, right? This is not why you're doing this. People need to understand that no, this is simply providing something for a group of guys or gals that otherwise are being left behind. It's what the roots of the All-American were. It's what you continue to do, brother. It's just that service that's born, and I think it's built in you now, and that's why I love it so much. If it were my thing, I would be definitely signing up. It's not my gig.
It may not be for everybody, but it is. But like you said, some people I believe are getting left behind in the sport.
Yes,
and so this
100%.
This lets them have a chance to get out there and play and gamble a little bit on themselves, but also experience what it's like. I mean, we're wanting to cash a check. That's always a nice bonus, but it's really not what we're there for. And if you want to just win money, then you're going to be disappointed. It's not, you just got to get out in the water. If you've done it, then it's about the experience. And then,
yes,
the competition, we're all competitive. We like to beat everybody else. That's just as fun as cashing a check. So, when you win money, that's just a cool bonus. So, this gives those guys a chance to get back out on the water, get involved. I believe it'll help us grow the sport here in Missouri.
I love it, dude. And that's the other thing is that community that is in Missouri. I'll tell you flat out, because of the water and because of the people, I'm not fishing much, competition, but I am eyeballing a few Moayak events because I love the area. I love the anglers out there, the community that is there. And so, me personally, I got to see how all these events lay out for us with the TPO, but I'm looking forward to get back there and fish with you guys. And now that I know two motors, now I got even more of a reason. I want to, cause I've been wanting to test that out. It's like 12 volt up front, 24 on the ass end. I know the Unlimited can handle it. Let's that's going to be fun just to rig that out and see what we can do with it, But no, man, that's super cool because I think, like you said, and it's kind of funny because I totally get that whole FOMO thing. It's like I go out there, I want to have this and that. It took me a long time to get comfortable in my own skin. And I really only think it happened about 6 months ago, to be honest with you. I honestly think that was a lot of my issue is I was trying to fish against the other people too much and not just, like you said, gambling on myself. And so the fact that you're giving an avenue for those folks out there, man, that's super cool, dude. It's going to be fun to watch and see how that goes down.
Yeah.
Now, you're judging this stuff here, and this takes me to the next piece here. One of the latest things you got going on, I was super excited, and I do not understand why any tournament director that I know wouldn't immediately be calling you and getting a hold of this service. Go Fish tournament judging that you have, offering people a third-party, unbiased judging organization for their tournaments, thereby taking that weight off the TD and adding some third-party unbiased, hey, you don't have to worry about the TD seeing, all your secret spots and all that kind of stuff if you're so concerned with that. But yeah, dude, talk to us about that. Well, I mean, clearly that just come from what, you doing it so damn much that
I would say I'm probably very well experienced in the judging department.
Good God, yeah.
But Dwayne Wally approached me with the idea actually. I've been judging for a few other TDs that I know in other states. I've kind of dabbled in it here and there. They've asked me to help out for an event and I do it. Then the idea just kind of kicked it around and I'm like, one of the complaints that a lot of people have that I see on social media is they're paranoid that their tournament director is going to steal all their spots, that they can see on Tourney X where everybody's fishing at. Right. And, which is the main reason I stopped fishing in Moayak was because I just didn't want anyone to ever think that I would do something like that. So I just won't fish it. But this gives a route to where a smaller club, that has 25, 30 guys, that tournament director, he wants to go out there and fish too. He doesn't want to just sit on the sidelines, so this gives them a way to where they can have somebody judge their events, someone that's not affiliated with the club. And, I do a pretty good job of it. And also, I offer turnkey tournament setup on Tourney X. Maybe somebody wants to start a tournament series in their state and they're not really sure how Tourney X works and how to set it up. They've never used it before. For a $40 flat rate, I'll completely design and set up and hand you the keys to the tournament. And you just give me the info you want, and then I'll set it up for you. And then you can go. If you need me to judge it, I can judge it too. So I offer both those services through Tourney X only though. But yeah, it's,
and that's the thing, dude. Tourney X, Dwayne Wally. I mean, this guy has made so much possible, and you have been there from the beginning of that too. I mean, that's the All-American series has been literally, that was advertised from day one of the first big series to ever go and use that platform. That was, you've seen him grow that thing, and that's so cool that he's the guy that kind of put the bug in your ear to to go knock this out, man. That's awesome stuff.
Yeah, it's also a service that he can offer for people as well too. If they're asking, they're new to Tourney X and they're talking to Dwayne, and he can point them in my direction, and I can help them get their tournament set up. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Grassroots series, that thing's firing off here. When does the grassroots series kick off?
March 29th is our first tournament for the grassroots series, and that's going to be on Lake Taneycomo. So that water stays the same temperature almost year round. So who knows? The fishing could be really good at that time of the year.
So jealous.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even consider March as a possibility. There's a tournament down in New Mexico, and as long as I-25 is clear, I might try to make a run down there. But I don't even know if I can get down the damn highway out of the state of Colorado. Is that like a Taneycomo? Is that like a power plant lake? Is that what that is?
It's the lake that's below Table Rock Dam. And so the water, it's a trout lake, because the water they release from the dam is always really cold. It's like 55 degrees, I think, or something year round.
Wow.
And so it stays cold in the summer. You can't swim in it ever. I mean, it's 100 degrees outside. You can't get in that water because it's cold, but it also helps it stay a little bit warmer in the winter as well, too. Usually
that's got to be
I don't think it gets much below 40, 45 degrees in the winter, I don't think.
That's got to be a smalley factory down there then.
And actually, there's largemouth. Yeah, there's smallmouth in there too, but you get down past where all the trout fishermen are, past Mid Lake. Them bass, they like to eat them trout, and they get big.
Oh yeah.
And they don't get any pressure. That lake, there's hardly any boat traffic on that lake. There's nobody hardly except a few locals even bass fish it. It's kind of a little hidden gem we've got here in the Ozarks that nobody really knows about. The tourists come here to trout fish it, but they don't realize that the next state record bass is in that lake too.
Damn. Yeah, that's
big.
Now, does Moyak go there as well, or is this
not anymore? We used to. The original Moyak series went there, but we outgrew it. Taneycomo is not that big of a lake, so it can't handle, more than 30, 40 kayakers. Really, it's not that big.
Wow, good stuff.
So we just go there for special tournaments, and this will be perfect for the Legends Grassroots series, because guys can there's only a couple ramps, 2 or 3 ramps to choose from. So everybody will just be paddling. It'll be a shotgun start, probably. It's a lot of fun.
That's the majority of our water. We have one that offers a couple locations. That's Pueblo Res, but beyond that, yeah, most of our water out here is 1-2 ramps, type setup.
Yeah, see, we're spoiled here in Missouri with, these 50, 60,000 acre lakes, and takes you 2 hours to drive from one end to the other. That's kind of the normal. So something like Taneycomo, that seems like a little tiny little place, but
dude, at the Big Bass Lake of the Ozarks, it took me literally 50 minutes to get from my launch ramp down to the awards.
Yeah.
Because it's, you got to go all the way. I was at the furthest north area that you could launch from. I decided to go all in on that area up there. And yeah. Speaking of, and that's the thing I want to, let people know that, dude, what you were talking about, that grassroots, where these people some guys do think that because they don't have this or that, they get intimidated. I can't tell you enough and can't stress enough, and anybody who's done this long enough will tell you the same thing. Stop letting that stress you out, because it is not the gear. You will not get beat by gear in 98% of the time. Mm-hmm. It's fishing. Drew has shown us time and time again in the last 4 years what a guy with a paddle and a kayak can do, mm-hmm. Against some of the best out there. And yeah, he is a fish whisperer. There's no doubt about it. But dude, in that last event, when we went up there, I'd never fished that area of Lake of the Ozarks. Never been there. Didn't launch once in practice. And so it was no, I'm sorry, I did. I launched once in practice, drove around a little bit just to make sure that I could get my kayak where I wanted to go, and ended up 53rd out of 180 people, and had a blast, dude. Absolutely had a blast up there. That's the thing, is just dial in, be ready to go out, go have fun, and just fish, and don't worry about what everybody else is doing. You just do you with whatever gear you have. If you're comfortable out there, get her done. And go. This grassroots should be, I think, proof of that. I can't wait to see what the numbers they throw up, man. That's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. And, fishing without any fish finders, that's going to take some skill too. Not even knowing the depth or what's below you. You just got to figure it out. But the old school method, drop a worm out there and feel what's on the bottom, it'll be fun.
Dude, for me, it was a jig. I always drug a jig to tell if I found rock or stumps or whatever. It's like, okay, I'm not even trying to catch a fish. I'm just trying to see what kind of bottom I have out here right now.
Yeah.
Then I'll throw something else.
Yeah, speaking of Lake of the Ozarks, it really showed out well for the Big Bass 250. A lot of fish were caught, and Go Fish, we were judging those fish, so I judged that event, and I don't remember how many thousands of fish there was, but it was insane. It was a lot of fish to judge. So
yeah, it fished well. It fished really well.
It's a good lake. When it's on, it's on. It gets pressured a lot, but they still keep on hitting.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think when you see that out there, I can't wait to maybe take another run at a different area down there as well. That could be a lot of good stuff. And speaking of good lakes, coming up May 1st, May 2nd, again, one of the biggest events that takes place in the entire nation in the kayak game, the All-American Kayak Classic, going off in lovely Clinton, Missouri. Love the folks at Clinton. Clinton is awesome folks out there. And on Lake Truman, dude, which is, in my opinion, of big lakes go, a kayaker's dream. For a boater, it's a nightmare because of the deadheads that are out there. But with a kayak, dude, you can get into some really untouched places that you wouldn't think would be untouched. But it's like, nobody's going to take their boat through that.
Yeah,
that's a $4,000, low end unit they're ripping up right there. So, dude, talk to us about this. This is going to be what year is this for the Classic now?
Oh boy,
6, 7.
Yeah, I think 6. I think we started in 2020.
Nice.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the All-American Kayak Classic is the chance where all the clubs from across the country can come together and battle it out to see who's the best of the best. We've got the individual championship, which is paid out $10,000 every year. And we also pay out 20 spots. It pays out really well. I think last year we paid out, $40,000 was like the total payout. So we're really lucky here in Missouri to have the 2 of these really big tournaments going on, one in the fall and one in the spring. So, so this year, it's going to stay the same qualifying standards as last year. Each club can send their top 15 anglers from their AOI race. And if a club has multiple series, they can qualify those guys from each of those series as well too. So if you've got a tournament series that's got an AOI points race, and you have more than 3 events, I think it's like an average of 10 people. It's pretty easy to qualify your club or series. Then you're in. You can send your group of guys, and if you can get at least 5, then you can chase after that team championship, because we're going to take the top 5 scoring guys from every club or series. Their scores will be combined for a total, and that's how we're going to determine who the team champions will be.
That's awesome stuff.
And Arkansas and Moyak and Iowa, they've won it in the past. This year, I kind of changed things up a little bit for Moyak, although I don't think I'm very popular for it. But all the guys in Moyak, we run multiple series here in Missouri. I've got a river series. We have a winter trail series that fishes all through the winter. We've got our elite series. We've got a 2-man buddies team series that runs. So we've got a lot going. Now we've got the grassroots series going on. So, those are all different series that qualify anglers for the Classic. And we have been just Team Moyak in the past. This year, I'm going to split everybody up, and they're going to stay on the team that they qualified for. So anybody that's qualified through the Moyak River Series, they're going to represent the Moyak River Series at the Classic. So it's actually going to kind of pit Moyak against Moyak a little bit, because we're going to have multiple teams going after that championship. So I think it's going to even the field out a little bit, because we are a little bit bigger organization than a lot of these other guys coming in. So I just want to try to make it fair. And
I love it.
Yeah.
How much do you think Bass's move is going to affect you? And the reason I ask this is because I know from Colorado's standpoint, it's going to affect really bad, because unfortunately our TDs at the CKB had no option, apparently no other date that was going to work. So they have put our state qualifier the same week as the Classic. So May 2nd,
the Bass Nation qualifiers for the Classic.
Yep. Because of what Bass did by changing they're going to have their national championship in March, but then they're also going to have 26's national championship in October of the same year. And so now all the Bass Nations at the state level have to get their qualifier in, and most of them feel, the pressure that they want to do that in the springtime if possible,
Yeah.
so that people have time to plan for the long trip, to wherever that's going to be. So I'm wondering if Colorado is like one of the only, or if there's going to be other clubs that are going to be put in that situation out there that, could lose some people.
I think a lot of the Bass Nations have already scrambled to get that new schedule fixed. We did that here in Missouri too. We're going to have a springtime event, which is not usually ideal because, like you were talking about, you guys don't even get to fish in March. Well, we do, but you never know what the weather's going to be like. It could be 60 degrees outside. It could be 20 degrees outside.
Yep.
And usually a lot of wind is involved too. So it's a gamble in the springtime. But that's have they announced? Has Bassmaster announced where the kayak championship location will be yet? Because I know
I don't
know if I can say.
I don't think so. I'm
Okay.
not sure.
Right.
I don't know yet.
I'm not gonna say then, but I'm pretty sure I know where it's going to be at, and it's going to be freaking awesome. Everyone's going to love it. So hopefully,
Nice.
yeah. That's why I was double checking. I didn't want to leak any news.
No.
Steve will beat me up, so I got
Right. Now I can tell you that because I'm not really worried or hunting something specific anymore, I'm coming to the Classic. But I know that a couple guys that were going to come with me, they are really trying to get into that Bass Nation type deal. So I think they're going to probably stay behind and fish the state championship here, but which is I totally get it. Everybody's got their reasons and why they want to fish. Me, I want to get back to Truman. I want to get back to the area. I want to, hang out with the groups out there. I'm going to be basically only dude probably from CKB that's going to be out there. But that's okay. It's like I said, I'm there for mainly just the experience and hanging out and having a good time and fishing Truman and seeing how things go. But yeah, I just was curious about that as to if that's going to affect, hopefully moving forward, everybody keeps that in mind from now on and they can adjust the schedule around it. And I don't know about our other club. I don't know if CKFC folks, we have a lot of crossover here in Colorado, so I don't know how many of them, are looking to go there, but I'm sure I'll be reaching out and chatting with a few people and seeing, and who knows, maybe they can.
For any of the tournament directors out there that are wondering about scheduling, the Classic is always going to be that first weekend of May.
Yep.
So you can always just leave that open and you won't have any conflicts that way because we've got a deal worked out with the city, and I'm pretty sure every year we will just be that first weekend of May. So
because it's usually the weekend after graduation, right?
Exactly. Yes. Uh-huh.
Yep. I remember that. And that, dude, you want to talk about a town that rolls it out for you? They love having the Classic there. This from the local shops. Are you thinking that you're going to have the support enough to do the hourly big bass again as well?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm pretty
Nice.
sure we'll do that again this year. We will do it one way or another, but it depends on how much the amount will be. But that's something I've got to start working on here in the next few weeks. Really, I got to get all that hammered out pretty soon.
Dude,
so.
That is so much work that you go through. I after being involved with you for a season, I know firsthand what it is, and it's a lot of work, brother. So
it's actually a lot busier in the winter than it is during the season because I got to get everything set up for the next year's got to be all mapped out, and I got to have everything locked in.
Well, and everybody else seems to be on island time, right? They're just moving oh yeah, I'll get back with you. No, dude, I need you to get back to me. And they're like, oh, yeah, a week, 2 weeks. Will that work? No. How about you handle this shit now? Good stuff, dude. Well, listen, man, I cannot wait to see what 26 brings. You got a lot of cool stuff brewing here. I'm stoked for the Classic. Like I said, the other thing is, and I need to talk with you about this offline. We'll see what we can come up with here. I'll give you a real quick just so you know that we're going to be working with another organization that's going to be helping us in the funding area for our Tier 2 and our Tier 3 events. Our Tier 3 events are any event that we want to take a couple vets or first responders to that would be anywhere from 8 to 12 hours away from us. We have 2 on the target list for 26. One of them is the big bass. We want to bring a couple guys that have some experience and let them experience what that is. Mm-hmm. But the other one, it makes complete sense to fire it off in the spring and come to the All-American Classic and let them take that event in as well. Get a couple, so 2 different people, bring them down to Truman and join them into this so that, so they can get an opportunity. So we're trying to get, obviously all of our ducks in a row, and I'd love to chat with you about seeing a way we could do this. Cause obviously these guys would be coming in, not through a club. What we'll make sure of when we vet them is that they've got experience in a kayak. They've been out with us before, we know who they are, but obviously they're guys that maybe aren't as embedded as we are into the game, this and that. So yeah, if we can line something up with you guys, that could be super cool, man, where we bring in a couple of vets from Colorado or Nebraska or Kansas or whatever and bring them on down to Truman. That could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I think we can come up with something.
Cool. There's so many lodging options in that area there that it's like, it's almost sensory overload, right? I mean, there's so many that are out there. Awesome stuff. All right, brother. Well, listen, man, hopefully we covered everything here. Like I said, you got a lot burning. Appreciate you cutting out the time here. This should be airing within about a week and a half. This one will be firing off here probably the 19th, I think is what let me see. What's the date? No, 23rd. Yeah, 23rd. That's when this should be airing here for folks. Folks, make sure, leave questions you have for Josh, any comments, anything you have, throw it in here. I'll make sure he gets them. I'll be checking this stuff as time goes on, and I'll forward them on to him. And that way, if there's any response or anything that you need. Dude, we are going into off season, but it's about to get real busy for you. So best of luck with all that. Obviously, I would love to offer up some help there, but my bandwidth is about to get slapped just as bad with some stuff we got brewing. So, yeah, I'm not going to extend myself too far this time. I'm going to make sure that I'm staying in there. But, dude, thank you for everything you're doing out there, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate everything you do for the veterans and everything else, too. You bet, dude. It's the honor on my side. I feel guilty half the time being able to say that, yeah, I get to go along with these things here. Half the stuff there, I feel, like I said, is more of a benefit to me than what we give back. So, well, cool stuff, folks. Make sure smash that subscribe button for us. You're seeing here at the True Patriot Outfitters or Heroes Media Group that's going off there. Go check out All American Classic. Check out Moyak. Check out all the amazing series that are going on there, from the grassroots to the river series, the winter series. Damn, I wish we could do that out here. There's no chance that it gets below freeze of my ass is indoors with fuzzy bunny slippers on. Me too. I don't know how these guys do it. It still gets cold here too. They're a different breed, that's for sure. That's Stoney and Chad and all those guys out there. Those guys are nuts. All right, brother. Well, thank you, folks. Make sure to, like I said, smash the subscribe, give us a follow out there. Appreciate everything everybody's doing for us, all the likes and follows. We couldn't do this stuff without you. Tight lines, be safe, take care of each other.